trading and opportunities within the market are often not what people think. So in order to escape the 9 to 5 outlook, if you like, you need to look at things a bit differently. And the sooner you do this, the sooner things become that little bit easier on yourself within the markets. Now, something that's always being asked is like, what's your average hourly rate? You know, everybody just wants to size it up, and I get that. They just want to size up whether it's worth their time to invest their time and learn to trade the better markets, and then, you know, and then actually go ahead and do it, and what they're going to get at the end of it. But if you've seen the other videos, you'll know that there's a lot of opportunity on offer. There's a lot of money on offer, more so than the vast majority of jobs out there. But they still ask the question, and people are still fixated, and I guess it's just normal, being human, to fixate on, you know, keep your eyes on the prize, as it were. But in order to actually truly succeed, or I found myself trading within the markets, when one of my best turning points come, if you like, and it sort of probably coincided with a couple of things, but one of the things I did, and it was after speaking to another trader, was stop looking at my results over the shorter term and only start looking at them over the longer term, maybe a week, well definitely a week, but more so monthly really. And it's really important to do that, because full time, even now, you know, profits can really vary. They can go up and down sort of like 40% between a couple of different months within the year. So it's important not to get fixated on that hourly and daily rate kind of, you know, the 9 to 5 kind of attitude of what we're all taught as we go through life, and learning that, you know, you exchange time for money, because in trading you don't exchange time for money, you exchange knowledge for money, and it can happen in seconds. And if you look at the screen, then you can see now that I'm placing a trade within the markets, and within a matter of seconds, trades are filled on both sides. It was very defensive as far as I'm concerned, and I made, what, £3? It was like 6-7 seconds the trade was open for, and people are probably looking at that like just created fire. But, you know, it's a thing that happens on a daily basis, and the reason for that is have the knowledge as and when I'm going to place the trade and why I'm going to place the trade. I can do that, minimal risk, manage my position, and be quite defensive about it, and still take a little bit of money out of the market. And it's only £3. Yeah, it's only £3, but then £3 add up, and sometimes it's not £3, sometimes it's 10, 20, 30, 50 quid. Yeah, but if I was to look at that in terms of, oh, what did I make this hour every time? It just, you know, it's a counterproductive thing. Like I've said before about trading throughout the day and different results and different races throughout, you know, and you get sort of to the last race and you might be behind your daily target, which is just, quite frankly, you should probably just sack it off. But you get to the end and you've got like one race left to make £20, and you try really hard and you end up losing 100, and it's just ridiculous. Or on the other hand, you know, you might have made 200 on the day, and then you get to the last race and you're like, oh, well, my target was 100, so I've made 200, and then you try very little, and there was actually a huge opportunity in that race, and you could have made like another 100 in that race. And it's just ridiculous, because having that target affects your will or perception of, you know, what you should do in the market. So it's just, it's rubbish, you know. You need to get rid of it. It's like a myth, you know, like exchanging time for money. It's just a complete myth as far as trading goes. So you need to stop asking yourself about what the hourly rates are and what the daily rates are, and get rid of that kind of like 9 to 5 grind, you know. I sit here and watch the clock and I get paid per hour. It doesn't work like that at all in trading, and that's the beauty of it as well, really, to be honest. At points, it's half the reason that people are attracted in the first place. But then very quickly they sort of bounce back to the, oh, what am I going to get per hour? And I guess it's just the way we kind of like program society and the way we look at things. But what I'm trying to say is just sack off the daily targets, forget the 9 to 5 mindset and outlook, and just start to focus on gaining that knowledge, where things are going to work for you, and, well, just doubling down on those. Someone tweeted earlier in the week, they said they made 340 quid this week, which was their best week, and they'd done it by trading within a certain range that they weren't doing previously, which is great. Just carry on doing that, you know, and then find out why that works for you most of all, and then do more of that. So yeah, but looking at the trade that we was talking about just there then, because I don't want to breeze over it, it's a very quick trade. It's in the market, it's at a point where it's very fluid, which limits the risk, obviously. I don't want to be going in and then waiting for my trade to get filled. it was in a position where it was slightly biased in which direction I thought the trade was going to go. So you can see I placed the opening side of the trade in the opposite direction to where I thought the price was going to go, and it did for a couple of ticks. And I wasn't greedy, I just took one out, and it was very quick, and there was literally no risk, and it took seconds. So that sort of quashes the myth as well, really, the fact that it takes time and money, because like £3 in 7 seconds, yes, I needed the knowledge to do that, and I needed the opportunity, and I needed to wait for the right point. But £3 in 7 seconds, where'd you do that in a normal job? It just doesn't happen. So keep an eye on different volumes, you know, when it's turning over, if you're going to try that kind of scalping type method, and you can do it again and again, multiple times, sitting around opportune points within the market. Make the most of the gaps, make the most of the liquidity, be very defensive. Really probably the safest way of trading I know. It's not the one that, you know, you can make like loads of money straight away. Arguably with Cheltenham and different big events around the year you can, but there's not as many gaps within the prices obviously there. I'm just deviating because I'm thinking ahead here, but what I'm trying to say to you is double down on what you know, take your time, make the most of the points within the market, find your reasoning, build your knowledge, go from there.